going on, everybody? Sean here from Afterlife Studios, and welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about Autotune, the different settings, how to use it, how it affects the vocal, how it makes the vocal sit in the mix, and how it affects the vocals on the other side of the glass. So with that being said, let's head over to the computer and we'll jump right in. Alrighty, so now here we are in the DAW, and we're going to talk about the different Autotunes. First, we're going to start with pitch correction, which is the built-in Autotune into Logic Pro. Now, this Autotune is actually really simple to use. You really only have your response time, you have your detune, you have your register, which is in treble and in bass. So women and most men are going to go in that normal one. If they have a really low voice, you're probably going to want to go into that low end one. You have your root, which is your key, and then you have your scale. So your major, minor, whatever scale you're going for. So with this plugin, you really want to be shooting from anywhere from a 20 millisecond to a 40 millisecond response time. That'll give you a really good starting point for hip hop vocals. It's a really simple Autotune. Definitely check it out. It comes free with Logic, so it's a very good one. You'll probably be using that one a lot. The next Autotune is Waves Tune. Waves Tune, similar to Melodyne, is after the fact, right? So you don't want to be tracking with Waves Tune. There's a lot of latency, and the vocalist will say something, and then a couple seconds later, they will hear it, which is all bad. So on this one, we still have the key, which says root as well, the scale, we have the speed, so it goes anywhere from 800 milliseconds all the way down to 0. We have the transition, which is how sharply it's going to go back and forth. And then we have the blend, which says ratio. So how much of their real voice versus the Autotune voice, and how much corrections in that Autotune. We also have vibrato over here. So how much of basically vibrato's in their voice. Easy enough, right? So we have the attack of that and then the amount. And then we have a synthesizer, which will give you more of a robotic sound. So with Autotune, man, you're really just looking for different flavors and to add different textures to voices. What a lot of people don't realize is that Autotune, you actually have to be a really good singer to use Autotune effectively. And without that basic level, these programs really don't do anything. So last but not least, we're going to talk about Autotune Pro. Now, Autotune Pro is a very simple program. You have your retune speed. You have your flex tune, which is basically the blend knob. So how much of the Autotune is on the vocals. You have a humanize option, which is at the end of the syllables, how much Autotune is going to wobble at the end of it. And we have a natural vibrato option. Now up here we have the key, which is also in the other programs called the root. We have the scale, just like all the other programs. We have our input type. So we have soprano, alto, low, male. Those are probably the three that you would be using for vocals. We also have two different flavors of Autotune on here as well. So we have a classic, which takes away the blend knob. And we have a normal, which is a more modern sound, which gives you that blend knob. Now with this Autotune, a good starting spot is about retune speed of 6. That gives you enough space to where it will wobble at the end, but if they're saying starting words, it won't wobble too crazily. And then humanize, I usually do to taste. So if you find that they're saying words and they're drawing words out and they're wobbling a ton really early, then you can boost up that humanize. Just a really good feature. The natural vibrato, I usually let the artist do their own vibrato. Typically, it's going to sound better that way, so you don't really want to adjust that too much unless they are ridiculously like flat, which is not often. Usually leave that alone. So, with that being said, I'm going to bring my good friend here, Mr. Lewan, aka Mancini, and he's going to demo how some of these sound, and we'll get you a artist perspective on this. Alrighty, so now we have Lewan, aka Mancini here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run it through with no Autotune on. As you can see right here, it's bypassed. And then we'll start demoing some of the different like retune settings and how to get it to sound different ways. There is no reverb, there is no EQ. This is just completely raw to kind of give you like the best accurate description of what the Autotune will do. All right, you ready, Lewan?
For sure. I created a wave. They tryna jack my sound. Can I have my shit back? You cannot handle me, nigga, I'm dangerous like a heart attack. Damn, I treated you just like my homie for you to stab me in the back.
Okay, so as you can hear, the voice is really good, but I feel like if we added a little bit of autotune, it'll make it sit into the beat a little bit more. So what we're gonna do with this first time is not necessarily use autotune as an effect, but how to make it sit into the beat. So already I found out that this song is in B minor, so I've already set my autotune to B minor, and what we're gonna do is flick that autotune on. Now, a huge thing, if you're actually tracking live on Autotune Pro, there's a low latency option right here. In the classic mode, it'll automatically kick it on, but in the modern mode, it won't. So if your artist is saying there's a ton of delay, that is what is happening there. So first, I'm going to throw it back into the modern mode. I'm going to put a retune speed of about 47. I'm going to turn down the humanize, and I'm going to show you what this is going to sound like. So we're going to have Lewan do this tracking again with the auto-tune on. Let me make sure this low latency is on. Okay. And then what we're going to do is hear the difference, and then we're going to have him tell us how it felt different. Ready, Lewan?
Yep. I created a wave. They tryna jack my sound. Can I have my shit back? You cannot handle me, nigga. I'm dangerous like a heart attack. Damn, I treated you just like my homie for you to stab me in the back.
All right, so on your end, how did that one feel? Did it feel wobbly at all?
No, not at all.
Yeah, but as you can hear now, though, it really pushed your voice into the track.
Yeah, it sounds more fuller.
100%. So right now, it's really not that audible, but what it's doing is making it mesh better with the track, which, hey, if you're just doing regular songs or not really super auto-tune stuff, it's a great tool to make your vocals sit more in the track. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn up the auto-tune to about 18, which is where it's starting to get that really auto-tune sound. It's not going to be extremely wobbly, but it'll have like a vibe to it. So this is going to be more of a vibey area. I'm going to give Lewan another run through. You ready, Lewan?
Yep. I created a wave. They tryna jack my sound. Can I have my shit back? You cannot handle me, nigga. I'm dangerous like a heart attack. Damn, I treated you just like my homie for you to stab me in the back.
So on your end, how wobbly did that feel when you were saying stuff?
At all. It didn't feel wobbly at all.
Perfect. So it just more gives it the vibe, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't add too much of that robotic sound, but it adds a vibe to it. So it's still sitting in the track, which is kind of where that 50 retune speed is. On the other plugins, that's more of like 100, 150. But on Autotune Pro, that's about 50. And the 18 is going to make it where it just sticks in, but it also gives just a little bit of vibe. So what we're going to do now, and usually when it's on just the vibe stuff or just making it sit in the track, I don't mess around with the humanize because there's really no reason. It's all it's going to do is just make it leave artifacts. When you go higher up in the auto-tune speeds, then yeah, you're going to want to use the humanize. But as of right now, it's just, I just leave it off. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go up to we'll go up to 8. So 8 is definitely in the realm of the auto-tune sound. So we're going to track that real quick and we're going to get his opinion on that.
I created a wave. They tryna jack my sound. Can I have my shit back? You cannot handle me, nigga. I'm dangerous like a heart attack. Damn, I treated you just like my homie for you to stab me in the back.
So on that one, I definitely heard a lot more wobbles.
Yes, for sure.
Did you feel them?
Yeah, I felt it. Like, once you hear it, it throws you off.
Right. So this is going to be the opportunity for where the humanize is going to come into play. So now he's starting to feel it. We want that sound, but we want it to wobble kind of more where he would naturally let it wobble at. So when it was at 0, it was catching right off rip, right?
Yeah.
So let's have him go back through one more time with the humanize turned up to 18. We might have to go up a little higher. It's always, like I said, to taste, and let him see if that makes it sit tighter.
I created a wave. They tryna jack my sound. Can I have my shit back? You cannot handle me, nigga. I'm dangerous like a heart attack. Damn, I treated you just like my homie for you to stab me in the back.
So we're still seeing a little bit of that wobble before he's trying to make it happen. So now, just like I said earlier, we're going to do it to taste. So we're going to boost this up. I'm probably going to put it closer to like 40 and let him rerun this again. Back on 8.
I created a wave. They tryna jack my sound. Can I have my shit back? You cannot handle me, nigga. I'm dangerous like a heart attack. Damn, I treated you just like my homie for you to stab me in the back.
So that one definitely on my end sounded a lot more tight. It sounded like you had a lot more control of where the auto-tune was hitting. I mean, how did it feel on your end?
Yeah, I definitely had a lot more control of it.
Perfect. So now we're going to do the stupid thing. We're going to push it all the way up to a 0 retune speed. And we're going to we'll leave the human eyes where it's at. So for the most part, you don't want to go to a 0 retune speed. It almost makes it impossible to track for one. In post, you can do a 0 retune speed, but it's going to take a lot of legwork. So let's go ahead and throw Leiwan on a 0 auto-tune speed. I'm sorry, my dude, but
I don't even want to try, low key.
You got this, bro.
Hey, come on.
So here's what this is going to sound like.
I created a wave. They tryna jack my sound. Can I have my shit back? You cannot handle me, nigga. I'm dangerous like a heart attack. Damn, I treated you just like my homie for you to stab me in the back.
I mean, you actually caught that pretty well. There was a couple spots in there that were pretty
wobbly,
past where they should have been.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, Leiwan has probably a couple hundred hours in the studio, so he has probably a better understanding of how to control the auto-tune than most. But, I mean, for the most part, if you're just starting off, you really don't want to go to that 0 retune speed. 6 to 12 is probably the best bet, especially if you're tracking live with him. It's definitely the way to go. Now, so that was all on the modern side of things. What we're going to do now is we're going to throw it on the classic, go to that 6, and then we're going to demo what that's going to sound like. This is going to be like that quintessential auto-tuned hip-hop vocal sound, and we're going to demo it right now.
I created a wave. They tryna jack my sound. Can I have my shit back? You cannot handle me, nigga. I'm dangerous like a heart attack. Damn, I treated you just like my homie for you to stab me in the back.
So as you can hear, it has that super robotic sound to it, but it gives it like a really good texture. So, I mean, Autotune is pretty crazy as far as like how the textures in it all works. Just insane. So we're going to do one more through with no Autotune, just because we just blasted you with a whole bunch of Autotune sounds. So let's go back through and then you can hear the difference at the end. Ready for one more, Leiwan?
Yep. I created a wave. They tryna jack my sound. Can I have my shit back? You cannot handle me, nigga. I'm dangerous like a heart attack. Damn, I treated you just like my homie for you to stab me in the back.
So on that last one, just like it was before, it pokes out of the beat way too much. He's really in key, so there's really not that issue. But the auto-tune definitely makes it sit better. It gives it a lot more texture. It gives it a lot more oomph to the song. You know what I mean? And I think it just adds a lot to it. So with that being said, Leiwan, I appreciate you helping me out with this video.
You're welcome, bro.
Hopefully you had fun on the other side of the glass over there. Alrighty, guys. So hopefully this video was super beneficial for you. Today, we went over the different settings of Autotune, the different styles of Autotune, how it affects a vocalist when they're live tracking, and how it makes the vocalist sit in the beat. If this content was beneficial to you, definitely hit that like button below. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content related to audio and video. And as always, stay humble, stay hungry, something else inspirational. Peace out.